Hey, what's going on, Gemini's? Butch here. I'm going to do your 1 week read. It is a general read, so it may not resonate with everyone. It is for your Sun, Moon, Rising, and your Venus. For all you cross watchers, roles can be reversed. Always feel free to comment down below. I'm going to use the basic Rider Waite Tarot. All that being said, let's get it. Here we have the Geminis. What's going on for Gemini? All right, Gemini. So the first thing I see, Gemini, is I feel a lot of chaotic energy going on right now, and this chaotic energy is going on with someone that you already know. I mean, we have the Tower, and then we have the Six of Cups. You know, I feel like this is someone that you have an incredible bond with. You know, but I feel like lately, there's been a lot of defensive energy. You know, there's a lot of, you know, we have the Nine of Wands. You know, very defensive energy on both sides is what I'm feeling. You know, I feel like there's no communication. And I feel like when there is communication, it's hard to tell whether it's lies or the truth. You know, I don't feel like there's a lot of truthful energy going on between the two of you right now. And I feel like I said, I feel like there's a lack of communication. I feel like there's an imbalance right now with that Justice card in reverse. You know, I feel like you both, I feel like in this time, I feel like you both had to face some demons. You know, you had to face some realities. And it's not exactly the reality you wanted to see, but it's still a reality whether or not you want to see it or not. You know, I feel like there's so much separation, and I feel like we're not seeing what's in front of us. Sometimes I feel like we're too close. You know, sometimes we feel like we're on the same page, and then sometimes it feels like that, you know, we move on to a new chapter, but different chapters. You know, there's a lot of overthinking going on right now. The biggest thing that I see right now is I feel like distance. You know, I feel like separating yourself from this is the only course of action. You know, I feel like neither one of you, I feel like you both kind of ran tired of putting in the work. You know, I like I said, it's like you stop putting in the work, they stop putting in the work. This defensive energy, you know, I feel like you're both standing your ground. It's almost like a game of tug of war right now. You know, I feel like there's a lot of anxiety. And I feel like with that late night, that anxiety, that, you know, like I said, with that overthinking, I feel like you close each other off from each other. You know, you're both in two different cells right now. You know, you're seeing things in a different perspective. I feel like neither one of you really know what you want anymore. You know, and sometimes when we get in a situation where we get into almost like a stalemate with someone, even though we have this incredible bond with this person, even though, you know, we have this friendship, sometimes we get to a place where we don't know what we want anymore, because we don't know where I honestly feel like sometimes we grow so close with some people sometimes that sometimes we kind of lose parts of ourselves, and then what we want from the beginning to the end has changed. But like I said, I don't feel like we're seeing what's right in front of us sometimes. Sometimes, it's like if you take a picture and you put it right to your face, you can't see it all. You walk up to a painting on a wall and you stare at one particular spot of it. Sometimes you got to back up to see it all. But I feel like you both shut each other out. And I feel like now it's a time where there is that thought that maybe there's something better out there for me. I feel like there is other options right now for the both of you, and I feel like it's almost like we have to explore it. I don't feel like in the long run either one of you are losing this connection. I feel like with all the chaos, with all the the negative energy going on between the two of you, I feel like right now it may feel like a win, but I don't feel like it's going to be a win in the long run. I feel like we're going to lose more than we gained. And like I said, I feel like you have a bond that I don't feel like it's a bond that's ever going to be broken. It may be altered. I don't feel like you're done with each other. I feel like you still play an important role moving forward with each other, but I feel like right now, the way things are going, it doesn't feel like either one of us are winning. I feel like I don't feel like either one of you are happy. And I feel like it's hard to admit that. And I feel like that's what's caused, I feel like it's been a while since you were happy. And like I said, with that moon card, I feel like you both had to face your own demons. And sometimes, even in the greatest friendships, even in the greatest connections, sometimes we drift apart. It doesn't have to be forever. And I don't think it's going to be forever for you and this person. But I do feel like it's going to be for right now. I feel like you're both changing. Huge transformations in both of you. And I feel like it's one of those things that I feel like we can't push it. We can't force it. It's one of those things where you just kind of have to accept it. And just trust in the process. Because I feel like the more we go forward, butting heads, I don't feel like either one of us is going to get any further ahead. We're just going to both have headaches. But what I do see, I try not to be so negative, but I mean, with this read, it's really hard to see the positive. But one thing I do see that I really, I really do want to point out here is I feel like even though all this is going on, even though there is that chaotic energy, even though there's, that defensiveness, there's anxiety, there's all these negative things, I feel like the one positive thing is I feel like there's always that bond that's going to be between the two of you. I do feel like that friendship is still there. I feel like it just has to, sometimes we got to take a break. And I feel like this person still has your back and always will. I feel like you mean too much to each other for this to just end up to be nothing. But I do feel like it is getting a bit toxic. We can't force it. I feel like with the lack of communication between the two of you, we're not talking about it anymore. We're kind of just being in our own heads. It's like two people being in the same room, but having a million miles apart, like feeling a million miles apart from each other. And there's a lot of hurt. There's a lot of pain. And I feel like it's making both of you very different from how you see yourself or how you've seen yourselves. But like I said, I don't feel like this is a forever thing. But I do feel like it's time to take a step back. And the blame game isn't going to work either. There's so much at a balance. There's so much going on here. And sometimes we just got to separate ourselves from, it's almost like they're fire and you're gasoline. No matter what happens between the two of you, it just makes it worse. I mean, like I said, there is a lot of things here that are kind of up in the air, and I feel like right now it's not a good time, but I do see a transformation. I don't see an end in sight for this. I do feel like you play a very important role moving forward with each other. I just feel like right now, for the time being, you're bringing no good to each other. And the more you try to force it, the more pain it's going to cause. And I don't think that's what either one of you want. No one's walking away out of this victorious. I do feel like we're losing a lot more than we're gaining for right now. But that's what I want you to focus on, the fact that it's right now. This isn't forever. I do feel like you're both still thinking about each other, and I feel like you both care. And I feel like that's why it's very important for you both to, give each other that space. Why it's very important, because I feel like there's so much more than just a romantic relationship here at stake. And I feel like we need to focus on that and realize, people drift apart. It happens every day. It doesn't mean they're drifting apart forever. It's just sometimes we have to follow our own path, and sometimes our path don't run side by side. But on a positive note, I do see balance in your future. I do see things working out in the best possible scenario. But like I said, it's not working out now. We can't force it. It's like you see those kid puzzles. You can't force a square into a circle hole. It ain't gonna go. With this person, we have Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We have Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. We have some Taurus energy, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. It's one of those things that sometimes, like I said, sometimes we drift apart, and sometimes we drift apart long before we even realize it. Someday you may wake up to someone that you've known forever, and you feel like you don't know them anymore. It's one of those things in life that's not pretty. But sometimes we have to look at our part in it. Sometimes we have to realize that the best thing to do is to give it space. If you ever think about something like, in more generalization, it's like, if you've ever had a problem, say you're doing a math problem, or you're trying to fix something or whatever, and you get to the point where it's frustrating the hell out of you and you're not getting anywhere. Sometimes you gotta walk away. Go get your head straight. Come back and see if it makes any more sense. And maybe it won't. But like I said, I feel like right now the best course of action is just breathe. Take a beat. In one way, shape, or form, I feel like this person, I feel like you're both important to each other, and I feel like in one way, shape, or form, I just said that, but I feel like you play an important role moving forward with each other. But it's not right now. I feel like you have a strong bond that I feel like it's one of those bonds I don't feel like are ever really going to be truly broken. But sometimes, like a broken arm, you got to give it time to heal. You can't keep using it. You can't keep expecting it to work. Sometimes you got to take a rest. It doesn't mean that person cares any less about you. It doesn't, it actually means more. It means they care about you. It means you care about them. The worst thing you can do right now is just keep being at odds. Because it's wasting your energy, it's wasting their energy. But that's what I have for you. Be good. Take care. Stay safe.